All right, here we go with some turns action. This seems like a keeper. It's pretty good. We have let's see what our opponent's on here. Faithless Looting, so Dredge or Gorios or something probably. I mean, we have Sleight of Hand into Howling Mine. Don't have an ideal turn 3 play yet, but we have the Cryptic Command and then some extra turns. So we have some pieces here. Guess we'll take an island. Our opponent discarded Life from the Loam Blood Crypt, so it's either some sort of Loam deck or it's just Dredge. Given that he's, playing against Dredge. Interesting, I have not played this matchup. I honestly don't know. It just seems like a race. I bet we interact very little, to be honest. He won the dice roll, though, so that's good for him. I'm very happy with Dredge. I am happy that I featured it on this series. It's been maybe a month and a half, maybe a month and a half ago now, 6-7 weeks. Yeah, our opponent just has the nuts, by the way. But oh no, this is so good for him. We basically have to hit exhaustion. I don't know about this one. He had a great start. No, I'm very happy though that we featured Dredge here before it blew up. So at the time, the deck cost one price, and I think it's gone up like 30-40% or something since I featured it. So I'd like to think that people who are watching the videos maybe had a head start and either knew to expect Dredge or maybe even got in on it themselves. So that's good. That's what we want to do with this thing. We want to find decks that are both sometimes budget for modern, even though that that is what it is. Budget is a difficult thing in any sense, but decks that can compete if at the Friday Night Magic level, if nothing else. And I think that's what we've done. And Dredge is an actual tier 1 deck that we identified very early on in the process. So we need exhaustion here. That's not exhaustion, but if we hit Giga Drowse, it might work. We did not. We did not do that. Are we dead? 2 plus 6 is 8. Lethal, exactly lethal. Although he'd probably have even more. So this is actually really rough because we don't have a lot of sideboard for Dredge. He had an insane start, but we have found the place for this. Yep. Not a lot of answers here to Dredge. He doesn't even know what we're doing, so for all he knows, we might be on Turbo Fog. What do we cut? Go ahead and cut a Walk the Eons. I don't know about this matchup. We don't have any graveyard hate in our sideboard because we do make use of our own graveyard. And we don't have the options of like one-sided graveyard hate really, so it would just be Relic, but maybe it's worth it. Sand seems about as good as it'll get though. We don't have the cryptic that I have a feeling is going to be very important, but we have tools to find the cryptic. That said, probably have to just take land here. Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind taking land over Time Warp. Gotta have lands to cast Time Warps. Let's hope he doesn't have the crazy fast start he had last game, although Faithless Looting sort of leads to that. I think he had 7 power in play on turn 2 last game. I like Spreading Seas. Alright, so he got an Amalgam into his graveyard and a Conflagrate, which is also good against us. There's a Tormenting Voice. Okay, so the dredging has not started yet, and in fact is still not starting, so that's pretty good. So this is one of those situations where, given our hand, I actually don't want to play this until turn 4. Because I really don't want to give him more dredges. Obviously, we took the land with that sleight of hand, and we've drawn nothing but land since. Like, actual nothing but land. But, anyway, he's going to have the red mana to flashback the looting anyways. But he doesn't have any dredgers here, so that's good. Wow, and in fact, yeah, that's why he uses that. So he's got amalgams in there. Okay. Well, he still has no dredgers. So it's very, very difficult for him to get going without that. Oh, and our Spreading Seas took him off of Flashing Back Conflagrate. He could just flash back Conflagrate to wreck us with dredging. Now the dredging begins, but hopefully he won't get another turn. That's a lot of prized amalgams. Oops, overtapped there. That's fine. Alright, so here come all the prize amalgams. And here goes us trying to get there. We've continued to draw nothing but land, so that's a bad sign. Cryptic would be good. Giga Drowse would be good. More Time Warps would be good. That's not quite good enough. Obviously we hit that on our second draw, as usual. Now, this is fine though. We get to keep going, draw 2 cards a turn for the moment. Jeez, we're drawing badly. Okay, well, let's cast our Temporal Mastery. There's a Time Warp. Alright. All is right with the world. We can dictate into Time Warp. So we're not out of the woods yet, but now we get 3 cards a turn. And we can actually cast this. So we're getting there. Yeah, alright. I think at this point we can pretty much assume that we've gotten there. So we'll go ahead and take one of these lands. Alright, Howling Mine. Oh, this is more mana efficient. So I actually have to keep in mind here I did not board in the Lab Maniac, so we're going to have to kill him with damage. So at some point we're going to want to not play any more of these. Oh, there's the Elixir, we're fine. Okay. Alright, so we will go ahead and play Spreading Seas on this. Get some more lands. Okay. What all do we have over here to exile that we want to exile? Alright, so let's see. Alright, I'm going to cast this. 1, 2. That's it. That's all we really want to. So we actually have to get rid of one of them. We get rid of the Walk the Aeons here. And we need another Time Warp in here. We have a lot of draws to do it. Alright, we did it. Alright, Temporal Mastery. Guess we can do this because we have the Elixir. And the way this actually looks right now is we're actually sort of in danger. So, don't need the Giga Drowse. Cryptic's fine because it'll draw a card. He's just going to give it to us. Fair enough. Okay. Interestingly, we theoretically, if we don't, if like our next like 8 draws aren't an extra turn there, yeah, okay, we would have got there. Like scary close for a minute though. Right, let's go ahead and get the Lab Maniac in, and get the get one of the Giga Drowses out. That game, it felt a little dangerous. It felt a little. I mean, maybe that's. Yeah, he's. Well, no, he didn't see anything there. Like, I don't think the Dredge deck plays anything we have to worry about, though. I'm just trying to figure out if it's worth giving the Lab Maniac the spot over, like the Giga Drowse, which can buy us a turn, or the Walk the Aeons, which obviously gives us a turn. I think maybe it's not worth it. I think we're going to keep the Giga Drowse, especially on the draw here. I mean, the Lab Maniac is nice because you don't have to worry about, did I have to burn apart the Water Veil, and then I think we have to keep this hand. We have We have hopefully a Whiplash Trap on the first turn, a Spreading Seas on the second turn. These are not the ones we want, but we have the Dictate. Our opponent has mulligan to 5, which matters a little for the Dredge deck. And he's mulligan to 4. Yep, that's not a bad start, though. This was a good draw. We just need to hit lands. So Whiplash Trap may not be as good as I wanted it to be. This is a matchup where it's theoretically very good. Oh, he hit some good. We might get the opportunity to use it anyways. The dredging has begun. It's actually sort of unfortunate, though, that I say, and it is actually kind of unfortunate that he didn't have a an Archimedes or something. We could have returned them both, and they actually just rot in his hand. Now our mana situation is not going to allow for that. Sure hope we hit a land here. Okay, good. Yeah, this was an important land. That unlocks a lot of things for us because we can now Dictate. This is a very nice addition to this deck. I'm looking forward to I have this deck like 75% built in paper, and I'm looking forward to including this one in it. Alright, our opponent, brings it back, gets the Amalgam. Obviously, we can't Whiplash Trap them. Alright, well. Let's hope that he actually puts 2 creatures into play here. Is he having them? Dang it. We want him to put another creature into play so we can Whiplash Trap 2 of them back to his hand. That's actually okay. Good. Because I don't want to cast this. I want to cast this next turn because I'm not giving him more dredges to kill us, and we don't have anything. Whereas we can actually save quite a bit of damage by just using this. And we're not dying next turn, so at least on the current board. Bounce this. And this. Just take 1 this turn. Sweet. I like it. Now that is a lot of damage we're taking next turn, but it's not lethal. Well, we still really need lands here. That's all we're missing. Alright, I'm taking the land. Alright, so now we just have to hope to not die, and then hope that he doesn't get another turn and we win. We'll put in the Dictate here. I mean, we'd have to whiff really hard on lands to lose the game. It'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4 draws with no land. So, I mean, but I guess if we don't hit. So I assume he's got a Conflagrate here. He does, so. But I don't think it's lethal. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We take 8, go to 13. He's obviously not discarding 13 cards, so. And even if he has double Conflagrate in there, it's only for 4, so. And he has to discard him anyway, so yeah. Alright, I think we're okay here. We just have to not get unlucky, and I think we'll win. Also assuming our opponent has no hate, but I mean, he might be sitting on Nature's Claim or something to wreck us. I think we just let this go. Yeah, I mean, he's just going off with the dredging. You got them all. I agree. I promise you're not getting another attack step here, though. Either you're not getting another turn, or I'm gonna scoop. So, all right, get the Dictate in there. Get all your Amalgams. You got them all. We hit a land. Feels pretty good right now. Now, we're not out of the woods because we're only drawing 2 cards a turn, but. And the thing is, the Spreading Seas is not actually good right now. because we're ways from having that much. Right now we're just drawing, we're just turning 1 into 2. All right, there's a time warp though. Now we're starting to get somewhere. All right, so we can Spreading Seas his land. Draw another time warp. All right, now we're talking. Time warp ourselves. Move to our next turn here. Okay, that's a good one as well. All right, so this is 7/8. So I think that I just burn 1 Temporal Mastery here, even though we're not doing anything with our other mana. I think that that's fine. We want to hold the time warp for as long as possible, or at least until we have more cards in our graveyard. All right, land drop there is good. This means that we can Spreading Seas our Radiant Fountain, draw another, Temporal Mastery again. Alright, things are looking good. Exhaustion's pretty good too. The problem is the Blood Gas plus Conflagrate's could theoretically be enough. Probably not. I mean, I think we can pass back and even get another turn, but I don't intend on doing that. I think I'm just going to pay 11 for the Temporal Trespass. I'm not yet there. Alright, so I could cast a Time Warp. I could just pass back and Cryptic. Or I can just Exhaustion him. I think it's safer. Let's not... I mean, we can do it at the end. The damage... The problem is if, hey, if we burn all of our... if we burn all of our... When we only have 1 draw effect here, if we burn all the Time Warps, then sure, we draw the draw effects later, but we don't have the turns to do anything with them. So I think we actually just Exhaustion because he can't do much, right? He'll have 1 blood... He'll have 3 damage he can come in with. He will have... So I guess he could get the other 2 blood gas, right? So it would be 6, 7. But he can only Conflagrate us for 5, which is 12, and we have a Cryptic up. He won't have black anyways. Because so what he could do is he could Conflagrate to give the blood gas haste. But I think this is fine. I think we can just get away with Exhaustioning him. And holding up Cryptic Command. I don't anticipate needing the Cryptic Command even. Yeah, I feel like, we're taking a turn off here. But I think that this is good because I'll Cryptic something and then if it's turn to draw a card. But I want to use, because we have the Giga Draws after that to survive. We'll be able to Conflagrate for 6. Yeah, I think we're fine. We could counter draw at that point. I just don't want to burn all of them when we could Cryptic into a Dictate or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, because that Exhaustion is best now than it will be later. Because if it's either Exhaustion or Time Warp, we want to prioritize holding Time Warps. You have anything left to fetch for? Nope. So he actually doesn't even have double red to Conflagrate, unless he has it in hand. Which, I mean, to be fair, he may have. I almost don't want to take 3 damage. Well, he doesn't have anything to fetch, but he has the Bloodghast. There's no reason to take damage, and nothing we need to counter, so we'll go ahead and tap draw. Because 10 matters for haste for that 4th Bloodghast wherever it's hiding. Alright, we hit a land. Okay. Bring it on back over here, buddy. Yep, come on. That's not what we want. Okay, well, Now I think it's probably time to just pull the trigger on the temporal. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We can just Giga Drowse him and buy yet another turn. Yep, that's what we're going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whereas we have 11 mana. So this should be safe. He can conflagrate us for not lethal, so. This is weird. This is a weird game because obviously we just flooded out. And I could just, you know, like it's entirely possible I could just use the Time Warp, use the Temporal Trespass, and find what we need to win. However, like the odds of losing the game are higher if we do that than if we just continue to buy turns with things that don't equal draws. Because like Giga Drowse doesn't cost us a draw or a possible future draw off of an extra turn, off of a dictate effect. It just costs us a card. The old Giga Drowse for 11. Also, in some weird world, if we have enough draw effects, we could just, if we get them all out there. Our opponent only has 5 cards left. Alright, so now we have to do a bunch of clicking here. So 1, 2. Is this working how we want it to? Yep. So let's make sure everything's highlighted. Everything is indeed highlighted. Let's go ahead and hit that. Alright, so we take no damage yet again, and we get 2 more draws to try to get there. At this point, though, I mean, we hit another Cryptic. We're still not out of tricks. And we could win this game without ever even taking another turn. We could just Cryptic his attack step. Twice. And win. Alright, so not taking any damage this turn. What is he casting? Oh. Alright, buddy. Now you're actually dead to another Cryptic. I guess not. We should have this one in the bag, barring some unforeseen circumstances. He's going to get his other Bloodghast and his other Price of Malcolm back, sure. Your board is huge. I agree. Ours is still not. Alright, so Serum Visions. Get that out of here. I'm just going to bottom this since we're about to sleight of hand. Alright, now we're talking. Here is the dictate we want. So I'm going to play Dictate of Kruphix. So I'm sure we have 4 cards over there. We can exile to this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll delve away here. Alright, so now the ways we lose have shrunk drastically. We can also just play any more Howling Mine effect and pass back and win, so that's a fun one. Alright, there's a Cryptic. Alright. I guess we'll keep that in mind if we don't find a win condition in the proper amount of time. Oops, I want to Time Warp myself. I want to play a Dictate of Kruphix. Yes, I agree. Good game. That was scary close, actually, because even at the end there, you see we don't have any more Time Warps in our hand. So we were going to draw not Time Warp, not Time Warp, not Time Warp, Time Warp. All right, so we would have theoretically got there, but yeah, with it, we can just pass the turn back at that point, and he dies on his draw step. That was a crazy match, actually. We died so fast in game 1, I didn't think we were going to win, but that was pretty fun. We have both of us are playing non-interactive decks, but in a sense, but Cryptic Command and Giga Drowse, we actually have more interaction built in than he does.